This video, we'll see the journey of a IITian versus non-IITian. Nice. So this means that if you get stuck in interview, don't. So in case you are looking for their resumes, if I get, I think if more than 1,000 comments on this video, I'll ask these guys to share their resumes.
A tip for everyone if you are watching, like,
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are sitting in Ananta and we will be interviewing the Google interns who are currently working from Ananta, and we will be asking them how they got their intern, how was their journey, how was the process. And this is Akshat and this is Kushank, and let's start with their intro.
hello guys, I'm Akshat Gupta and I'm from BIT Mesra, and my branch is Computer Science and Engineering, and I am currently SWE intern at Google in Ananta.
Hey guys, I'm Kushang, pursuing BTech in Mathematics and Computing from IIT Delhi. I'm here for my software developer intern.
So guys, that's so interesting. Akshat is from BIT Mesra, and that's a Tier 2 college, right? And Kushank is from IIT Delhi. So now I think all of you were looking for answers that how is the journey. So in this video, we'll see the journey of a IITian versus non-IITian. So Kushank, you got into IIT Delhi, and I think that we have to give JEE Advance, and for IIT Delhi you have to get a very good rank, and you got a MNC there. So would you like to tell people about your IIT journey?
So I started my JEE prep from 11th standard in Kota Island. Okay, it was good, but I didn't actually get MNC at IIT. I actually got mechanical, and then in the end of first year you get a chance to change your branch from depending on your CGPA. So I was able to change my branch from mechanical to MNC.
Oh, that's very impressive. I mean, to change the branch, guys, literally you have to top in your like I think in the entire year or so. I mean, in your batch. So
you have to compete between the people who are trying to get that branch from the previous branch you are having.
So guys, this is the tip. If you are in your first year IIT, so you can change your branch.
Just to clarify one thing, branch change is not stopped in many IITs and many other colleges as well. So it is not recommended to go to a college for the branch you are not getting in hopes of getting to change it in the end of first year or first semester, whatever. So I do not recommend it.
So Akshat, you're from BIT Mesra, which is also a very good college. So how did you why did you took BIT Mesra? What was your story behind your JEE prep? Please tell the audience.
Yeah, so JEE prep was probably the hardest part of my life up till now, and JEE mains, studying for JEE mains took too much efforts. I took unacademy courses, and I took several tests from FITG, and I took online tests from Allen. But I used to give tests like every week or every bi-weekly test, which helped my problem solving to improve. And within the journey, I developed a strong problem solving mindset. Even though I couldn't solve several hard problems, but I had developed a problem solving mindset which helped me continue it further in the BIT Mesra and helped me reach to Google intern. So it was like a very nice journey of having preparation for the JEE mains. So after clearing JEE mains, I got several options. I also cleared JEE Advance, but I did not got any Earth-sized branch in IITs. So I preferred to choose BIT Mesra CSE because I also had too much interest in problem solving and coding mindset. So I preferred to choose BIT Mesra, and then when I entered BIT Mesra, I had heard that the coding culture of BIT Mesra is actually good. Like in my previous years, we had great alumni reaching to too many big companies. So, and which I actually felt in the first year. There were people around me which, though they had a very good coding perspective of doing code and all. So I learned from them, I learned from my peers, and I learned from my seniors that to get to a MNC you need to do a lot of problem solving and competitive programming and DSA. So I started from there, and that was it.
So, guys, this means if you want to get into Google, it is not necessary if you have to be a IITian or a non-IITian. The basic, important part is that you should work on your skills, your resume, your DSA, and this is not only about Google, but getting a good job. You'll need to do hard work, and that we can see two examples in front of us. So, guys, now let's hear about their Google journeys. So, I'd like to know from both of you that how you started preparing, not only for Google. I think you were targeting Google, or like you were targeting any other companies.
So I was targeting many quant companies and many other software companies as well. So
Okay, and you?
I was targeting for MNC companies, basically the FANG and MANG companies only. So, but I prepared for the startups also.
Tell us about your journey from the very start, like how you thought you'll get into software engineering. Then how was like your DSA journey, or your like about your projects, or how you were targeting, basically the entire prep.
okay, so coding you would start in first year only. So basic coding, but not the whole DSA. That's present in every BTech, I think. So coding is in first year. Second year we had a course on data structures and algorithm. It was in, I think, fourth semester or third semester. For some branches it was in fourth, and for some it might be in third. And I started preparing for my internship at the end of third semester, like very basic prep, not like going full on into the prep.
What I should think, like you started your coding in first year, so like how many questions you might have done till second year, or what you were targeting, because before the intern prep it will be your personal prep as well. So how was that?
By started coding in first year, I meant you have courses where you have to code, so you get a basic idea of what to code, how to code, and you get to know some languages. So I only knew few languages and how to code in them at the end of first year. I didn't know how to think of an algorithm, how to make a logic to solve problems. That started after reaching out to some seniors and them recommending to learn DSA and solve many DSA questions. So at the end of third semester, I think I started solving questions on code forces, doing contests, and this I started at the end of third semester. At the end of my fourth semester, you have a big summer vacation where you can either do a research intern at the end of first year, at the end of second year, or like do a prep for your next intern season. Even if you go for an research intern, you still have to do the prep while managing your research intern, but some people do that. That's like very standard. So I didn't get a research intern. I didn't apply for any. Also, so I only prepped for my DSA with DSA and some quant. If you are trying to get into a software company, the only thing I recommend now is to do DSA and to do some AI as well, because the companies now work on using many AI agents to code and to fast track your coding process. So you also have to learn how to use AI with your coding. Also some other things like OOPS and system design, that also is very common. Companies ask the questions about these, but it's not like the DSA is the main thing. It's they don't generally ask about OOPS and system design on every interview or on every OA.
So my coding journey started from the second semester of my college. It started from a workshop, which was a C++ DSA workshop, which was held by my seniors in the college. So before that, in first semester, I was a lot chill and I was just studying about the college syllabus and all. But after second semester, I realized how important is to explore yourself, like how important is to explore about the DSA apart from the college. Like we the college don't teach you stuff which the actual you get from YouTube and by doing questions in LeetCode and Codeforces. So I was introduced to Codeforces, LeetCode, and for DSA I was introduced to Striver Sheet and Striver. So from second semester I started following Striver and practiced question in Codeforces. I gave a lot of question in Codeforces and lot of contest in Codeforces. It took me a lot of time to reach a decent stage, a decent rating in Codeforces, but it was worth the time spent in it. So my recommendation for competitive program is to give as much contest as you can and absolve every contest, which will quite help a lot for for improving the ratings in Codeforces and all. So yeah, basically I was also like DSA based study. I was doing the base DSA based study for up till the fourth semester. Then I thought the dev part of the computer science journey is also a very necessary in our internship and placement. So I started focusing on the dev side from my start of the fourth semester, and I watched YouTube videos, went through several projects, and I tried exploring dev on my own. So I built a very basic apps, websites, and all. Then I started building more websites, and eventually I developed a good hold of concepts in the WebD. After that, I was interested in ML side also, but I did not dive in the more in the machine learning side. I went for the agentic AI things, so building agents and orchestrating agents and all. So yeah, my recommendation also will be to explore AI in this era as much as you can. Like leveraging AI to its best use is the most important skill for now. Like AI could code very well, even better than us. It can code for anything. But how we give the inputs, the right inputs to the LLMs is what it takes. And how we design the systems and how we brainstorm to design the systems is what a software engineer has the hold in.
So Akshat, did you apply on campus or your intern was off campus for Google?
So I applied off campus through the career portal at Google, and I also took a referral from a family relative of mine.
So you were searching for jobs on campus, or like how's your culture, and how you were applying for off campus internships?
So when the Google off campus opportunity came, the summer vacations were going on. So there were no on campus opportunities then. So I was applying to all the off campus opportunities I applied. I got interview in one or two, but the I got the main interview was Google only. And for on campus, when my semester started, the on campus opportunity start to came. So I applied on campus when my semester started.
And you?
I applied with my on-campus college services. So there were many companies. Since I was also focusing on quant, so I have to also apply for them for their companies. So I applied for like 25 or 26 companies and got, I think, 7-8 interviews. But it was spread out through the days of all the days of the intern interview days, whatever you call it. So Google was on the first day, and I got my Google offer on the first day. So there's a rule that you get an offer on the first day, you can't accept any offer from the other days. So So I didn't give any other interviews. There was only one quant interview that I gave besides Google, and since I got offer here, so I got here.
So guys, now let's ask them about their interview rounds. Like how many interview rounds you had at Google, and yours was on campus, right? So how many interview rounds were there?
2 rounds.
And for your off campus?
2 technical rounds and 1 on-call round.
Oh, nice. So what was asked in your like
First
both the rounds?
interview.
Yeah.
Uh, it was just a DSA question, and I had to code in Google Docs, so there was no code complete or like code coloring. So if you are preparing for for interview at Google or for internship at Google, you have to code without any color coding, or like try to code in Google Docs for some time.
Oh. So what was asked in the interview? If you can share like the exact interview question. Also in your first and second rounds, share both the experiences. And like it was like how much time round? It was a 1 hour round or a 2 hour round, and how was it like? And how you got the communications?
I think as far as I remember, it was a 45 minutes round, and there was one DSA question in the first round, same in the second round. So the DSA question was, it was a tree. It was a graph topological sorting question, as far as I remember. Topological sort and binary search were 2 concepts that was used, and I don't remember the whole question. Sorry. For the second interview, it was a tree question. I still applied binary search, but there was also some other method with Dijkstra, I think. No, it was a Dijkstra plus binary search question. Okay, as far as
Nice. And what about you, Akshay?
Yeah, so in the first technical round, I got a ad hoc based question. It was more of CP style question, which did not involve any particular DSA concept, but it involved using multiple multi-sets. Like we couldn't solve it in using one multi-set. It involved using multiple multi-sets, and it was quite a nice question. It took me the interviewer's time, and like I gave all my approach to him, and he guided me to the solution. So like it was a nice question. And in the second interview, I had a sliding window based question, and it involved 2-3 concepts more, which I don't remember quite well right now, but it involved sliding window.
So both of them were of 45 minutes?
Yeah, it was 45.
And what was the first round about? Like these are 2 rounds, right?
Both were DSA.
No, there were 3 rounds that you
Oh,
gave.
that was so the initially first round was the on-call round where my phone screening was took. So they asked me about my resume, like how much a project, what tech stacks I have used in my project, and like how much time I take to solve a DSA question. Basically, a medium or a hard DSA question, how much time do I take? So, a tip for everyone if you are watching, like you should answer very honestly. They know realistically how much time does a decent coder take to solve a medium hard based question. So if you try to lie in that, you will get caught. So I had answered according to me, and like the phone screening was went well.
So, can I ask your stipend here? Just give a estimate, like a range
like
maybe.
1.5 lakhs to 2 lakhs per month.
And is it same for you as well?
Same.
So even if you get off campus or you get on campus, your stipend will be same. And so now just tell me that did you get stuck on a question during your interview, like any of you?
Yeah.
And how you communicated to the interview, and did you felt that thing might not get you into the interview, like it will not pass the interview?
So in the first round, I got they ask you for the brute force approach, which is very easy, and then I got stuck what to do. Like uh, I I gave an approach which was not the optimum approach, but the interviewee helped me. He helped me to figure out like what approach that I have to get through. He was always trying to evaluate ki am I able to get to the most optimum approach. So they help you. You don't need to panic, but you should have decent preparation to actually get the idea from their hints.
So in my first technical round, though I actually gave the brute force approach, which was quite a easy approach. So when I was optimizing the brute force approach to the optimal approach, I got stuck in 2-3 ways of doing the solution. So I had my 2-3 ways to find the to solve that question, but I was communicating with the interviewer very well. Like I was explaining whatever was going in my mind, I was explaining to the interviewer. So like that is a very nice way of showing the interviewer that you are totally involved in the question. So if you are showing the interviewers that you are involved in the question and you are thinking quite a lot, that makes a good impression. And eventually the interviewers are not very strict, like they are strict, but they don't want you to not solve the question. Like they are there to help you, there to help you when you are stuck. So my interviewer also tried to guide me, giving a little bit of hint. So the hint was actually very nice and it helped me to get to the most optimal solution. So yeah.
So this means that if you get stuck in interview, don't panic. Just think your mind out loud in front of the interviewer, and that will help. Now let's ask about their resumes. So Kushank, what was something that you put in your resume that helped you get shortlisted in 7 to 8 companies on campus?
The things I put there was like my course projects only, not any other different projects. Also, scholastic achievements like your JEE rank or Olympiad if you have done, or like you can also put your code forces rating there, but it might not be relevant now, but it was relevant then. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. And since yours was off campus, what do you think made your resume exceptional so that it got like shortlisted in a company like Google?
Like as we know, Google focuses most in DSA only. Like their interviews are DSA based. Everything they ask about around DSA only. Like eventually in last year they asked about AI fluency, but mostly Google asked DSA based questions only. So I tried to put all my coding profiles highlighted quite well in my resume. Like all my coding profiles had their link associated with it in my resume, and so that the recruiters can go through my coding profiles easily. So and I in my achievement section also I highlighted several my coding achievements which I had got. Like I won several hackathons, and for DSA based I put my ratings in it, and I also put that we got a decent rank in ICPC regionals. So yeah, so basically that only.
Oh, nice. So was this something like did you put some projects, or what was the project like?
Yeah, like projects are a main MVP of the resume, but क्यों हो रहा है?
इतना देर से तो बोला नहीं.
So
What were your projects like?
yeah, so my projects were, one of my project was based on a NLP based project. It was a search engine optimization project, not mostly like how the search works, like how if we are searching for an apple, basically how will it categorize, do you require an apple iPhone or do you require an apple the fruit. So I worked on that, and I worked on the search engine optimization, and my another project was a full stack web based project which was based on carpooling feature. So basically in Ubers and all we can get cars, we can book cars, intercity cars, but I thought we lacked a carpool feature, but Uber has implemented a carpool feature in early days, but I didn't know about that. So I built a project around the carpooling system, which could people could pool cars and share their bills.
Nice. And you had something special?
I had like around 4 my course projects. 3 were DSA. As far as I remember, there was one like planes manager there that was like you have all the plane times and like departure time, arrival time of all the flights that are going. You have a starting point, you have an ending point, and you have to figure out which flights to take. So get the for three optimum heuristics like minimum time, minimum number of flights, and with minimum number of flights, minimum time, something like that. Also, there was a pirate crew task manager system with. These were the DSA projects from my DSA course which I had in second year. Also, I added some few projects from my probability since I was also applying for other companies. Yeah, that's all.
So in case you are looking for their resumes, if I get, I think if more than 1,000 comments on this video, I'll ask these guys to share their resumes as well. So guys, now we are almost at the end part of the video and I have a rapid fire that is prepared for both of you. So yeah, let's start. So what was harder, JEE Advance or Google interview
JEE.
for you?
JEE Advance.
And are you a late night coder or early morning bird?
Late night.
Late night coder.
So what is your favorite perk at Google?
Music room.
And yours?
Food at Google.
Oh, and one word that you describe your Google journey. That describe.
A bit difficult.
Inspiring.
So guys, this is the end of the video and thank you guys for making a video with me, and that was very sweet of you. And if you have any questions to me or to them, please comment on the video and also like, share and subscribe. And so like a conclusion from all this is all you need to do is hard work. Doesn't matter from which college you are. If you do hard work, then you will get what you want. So till then, like, share and subscribe. If you want another part of this, then comment here. And if you have any questions, then also, and for any collabs, @ Life of Tani. So till then, bye bye.
Bye.
Hello guys. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. Hello. Currently interning at Google and yeah, about their journey, that how they did the prep. क्या बोलते हैं, अरे यार कंक्लूडेड वापस बोलती हूँ, रुको रहने दो, हाँ रोक ही दो, छोड़ो.
Got stuck while the brute force was quite easy. I also got stuck while optimizing the solution. So
सॉरी, अरे यार मुझे लगा कि बहुत ही वो रहेगा, वापस बोल दो, तुम अपना पार्ट बोल दो वापस.
हाँ अच्छा वापस.
सॉरी
तो
अरे हैं. फेवरेट पर्क एट गूगल सो फार?
Favorite perk at Google, music room.
पर्क, एक सेकेंड, ये पर्क म्यूजिक रूम थोड़ी है. पर्क मतलब कि गूगल कुछ दिया है वैसा ना.
कुछ
नहीं, एनीथिंग
अच्छा.
दैट यू लाइक.
ओके, फेवरेट पर्क ये सोचना पड़ेगा.
बहुत सारे हैं, समझ नहीं आ रहा कौन सा.